All right, let's jump right in. Here's a weird thought for you. What if getting really, really good at something actually makes your brain work less? It sounds completely backwards, I know. But when it comes to language, a really fascinating study from MIT uncovered this wild paradox that's going to change how you think about the bilingual brain. So here's the core of it. Researchers took a look at the brains of polyglots, people who speak a ton of languages, like 5 or more. And what they found is kind of nuts. When these people listen to any of their learned languages, their brain's language center lights up like a Christmas tree. But when they listen to their own native language, it just goes quiet. The language they know best uses the least brain power. And that's the big question here, isn't it? It feels like it should be the total opposite. How on earth does complete mastery lead to less work? Well, the answer isn't what you'd expect. It's actually physical.
To figure this out, we've got to stop looking at brain activity for a minute. Instead, we need to pop the hood and look at the engine itself, the brain's actual physical structure. The clues aren't in how the brain is working, but in how it's literally built.
That's right. Learning a new language isn't just like downloading a new app for your brain. It's way deeper than that. It's like you're actually upgrading the hardware, the processor, the motherboard. The very act of becoming bilingual causes real, tangible, physical changes to your brain.
And check this out. This is our first huge clue. Brain scans show something pretty remarkable. Bilingual folks tend to have more gray matter density in a specific spot called the left inferior parietal cortex. Now, that's a mouthful, but all you gotta know is that it's a major hub for processing language.
So what is gray matter anyway? Well, you can think of it as your brain's processing power. It's all the little command centers that are doing the heavy lifting, the thinking, the remembering, all of it. So having a higher density there is like getting a powerful new computer chip, but just for the language part of your brain.
Okay, but here's where it gets even more interesting. This physical brain upgrade isn't a one-size-fits-all deal. Nope, turns out the results can be really different depending on a couple of key things. And those two crucial factors are actually pretty straightforward. Number 1, how good you are at the second language. And number 2, just as important, how early you started learning it.
So take a look at this. It's super clear. The better you get at that second language, the higher your proficiency, the denser that gray matter gets. It's a straight line up. Your skill is literally physically building your brain.
And then there's factor number 2, timing, age. And wow, this really spells it out. The earlier you start learning, the bigger the effect on that gray matter. It's like a young brain is just super fertile ground for this kind of construction project.
All right, let's put it all together now. We've got our clues. We know that speaking a second language beefs up the brain's gray matter, and we know that effect is strongest if you're really good at it and you started young. So, let's get back to that original mystery. Why is the native language so quiet?
Here's the key. All that dense gray matter doesn't just mean there's more stuff in your brain. It means you've built a smarter, more efficient network. I love this analogy. It's like you've turned a bumpy, whining country lane into a 6-lane superhighway. The traffic just flows way faster and with way less effort.
And this is the big aha moment. When you're using a language you're still learning, your brain calls in the cavalry. It uses its main language network, sure, but it also fires up this other helper network that's designed for heavy-duty cognitive tasks. All of that together looks like a ton of activity on a brain scan. But for your native language, that superhighway we built, it's so hyper-efficient it doesn't need the helper network. It can handle all the traffic by itself, so it runs solo, and that's why it looks so quiet. And hey, don't just take my word for it. The study's lead authors said basically the same thing. Your brain calls for backup when it's dealing with a tougher task. But your native tongue is so deeply ingrained, so structurally supported, that it just doesn't need to make that call. So let's zoom out for the big takeaway here, because this is bigger than just learning languages. This is a perfect example of what scientists call brain plasticity. It means that the things you do, the skills you learn, they aren't just abstract ideas. They are literally reshaping the physical organ inside your head.
Okay, so let's do a super quick rundown. 1. Speaking a second language physically bulks up your brain's gray matter. 2. You get the biggest upgrade if you learn early and get really good at it. 3. This structural upgrade makes your native language network insanely efficient, so it looks like it's barely even trying. And 4, the big one, your brain is basically always under construction, and you are the lead architect.
So think about that. The next time you decide to learn a new language, or any tough skill really, Remember what's actually going on. You're not just acquiring knowledge. You are launching a full-scale physical renovation project inside your own mind.
Which kind of makes you wonder, right? If learning a language can do all this, what about learning to code, or play the guitar, or master a sport? What other skills are physically sculpting your brain right now?